All right, guys, welcome to the Studying Brew episode. Ooh, I forgot to look. 1129. That's right, guys. It is 1129. And I am here by myself tonight. Not just because, not because Andy's not here. He's actually in the other room. He is making eggs for our son's football team tomorrow. So he's like, so I'm like, so I get to be with you guys while he gets to cook. And so I am so happy to see you. Now, guys, we are going to do the Studying Brew, which is our 30 minutes of free, as Andy likes to say. This is where we are going to do test taking techniques. So we're going to do some test taking techniques for you guys right here. But y'all have to sit through a commercial first. So that is where we're going to start. 1 second.
Don't forget we have a passer. I might be there for that.
All right. Now we have to do some editing. All right, guys, as my iPad here loads up. All right, guys. So our commercial. Yes, look, guys, there are so many different programs out there for you to get your for you to get your study on. But honestly, we took what is we took what's broken of all of them and we made something new and something different. And this is definitely a different type of program. This program really gets you through pretty much everything that you do as a human and as an adult studying for these licenses to get you through the system. We teach you the system. We teach you how to study, what to look for, how to work with the brain that you have, right? Are you visual, tactical, auditory, right? We have our course videos that are designed to work with your schedule. Then we have our live sessions and our all member sessions, guys. That's where we teach you how to apply content. So it's not just repeated course video content. No, it's actually how to use the content in the way that you need it. So that way you can pass these exams. And then we have our small group tutoring or one-on-one tutoring. That's just a time where you guys can sharpen those skills, those testing skills for those who need it. And we are available. We try to be available for you guys here up on our Kona community, our Discord, anything you guys need. Some people we see you every day. Some people we just get that lovely pass notice notification. And so it's awesome. So we have something for, I like to say, we have something for everybody, right? Because that's, after all, that's what we try to do here. Now we also have books for sale that work both independently and also with the program. So they work both independently and with the program. The SIE and the 65 are interactive. We have actual video links in there if you keep it digital, but we have study guides for the 6 and 63 and also some notes available for our members for the 26 that actually works with our course. All right, guys, so you can contact us at 951-290-3077, or you can, I'm going to get your links right now. You guys can click on the link, scan the QR code, or click on the links if you are on live to join in on any of the sessions or to even join our free message board. So you guys can click there and click there. Now, coming up tomorrow, we have our full schedule tomorrow. We've got the SIE, the Series 6. We got study hall where you get to study independently while I'm sitting here at my computer getting some work done. You guys get to study. And then we come back for small group tutoring for those of you who are registered and in the $100 tier. Then we see you all back here for the Studying Brew. It is a fun, packed schedule. So fun. All right, guys. Now, if you are not following us on Instagram, I wish you would. Because not only do we put announcements up there, but we also add another one to the Kona Hall of Fame because, oh, he missed it. Because we got a passer. Yes, we do. We got a passer. Guys, we are, congrats. Oh, this boy right here. Yes.
When they let me know, Brandi.
Yes.
and they give me a picture,
Yes.
we add another one to the Kona Hall of Fame. You know why?
Why?
Because we got to pass it. We want to pass it.
Yes, we do. I'm the one that has the headphones on. So yes, guys, we want to congratulate Rachel. I know. We want to congratulate Rachel Nelson, guys. She got her Series 6. Dude, it wasn't very long ago. I have to look it up, but it wasn't very long ago that she got her SIE and she declared, I am going to get my 6. I want to say in 2 weeks, like something super, super quick. She's already on to the 63. Man, guys, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know exactly where she lives, but I do know this, a 400, at least that's what her RVP told me, 400-mile drive to the test center. And she got it done. She got it done. Oh, I'm so proud of you, Rachel. We are so proud of you, Rachel. That is a massive, massive commitment. She got it done.
I don't know where she lives either, but I know one thing. She doesn't live next to a test center.
No, she does not. And bless your heart for 400 miles away from a test center. Woo.
We got a pass.
Yes, we do. So congratulations, Rachel. We cannot wait to see you for the 63. Woo! Just knocking them out. Boom, boom, boom. Knocking them out. All right, guys. But tonight, we are going to do, you know what? I have to say this. The Kona catchphrase perhaps is one of my favorite nights. I love Test Taking Technique Tuesday. Do not get me wrong, where we're like getting answers because that's different or whatever, right? That's awesome. But the Kona catchphrase is it's a different way of looking at your quiz questions. I mean, not even just your quizzes, but your exams, multiple choice questions, right? Sometimes saying multiple choice over and over again gets kind of, anyways. It's a different way to look at your multiple choice questions and use the words that we use every day when we talk to our advantage. Sometimes we can't remember a piece of content. Sometimes we might even say, I don't even remember studying that, right? So this is a way for us to actually use the words on the screen to our advantage. It's crazy. So yes, there is a little bit of Tuesday's test taking techniques in here, where, maybe 2 answers are similar or opposite. Maybe one's different, right? Maybe we've got the number or the and. But where all of that stuff really does come from is you just looking at the words, you just seeing what's on the screen and then using it. So tonight is the night that I really like to say, you know what? Let's slow it down quick second. Let's just slow it a quick second. Answers first as always, but I want you guys to see the words not for the securities vocabulary. So remember that, guys. We're not going to focus on securities vocabulary, just words. So no securities vocabulary, just words. Just words. Okay. Now, one of these questions, I actually ended up sending to my sister, and I was like, do you know the answer to this? Because she's not in financial services at all. She is a school teacher, not her world, right? And I said, hey, can you answer this question? And she's like, it's blank, right? And I'm all, yeah, how'd you guess? And she's like, I'll tell you when I get there. I'll tell you when I get there. But guys, do you see what I'm saying? Like, she got a quiz question right simply just because she looked at the words. And that's what I need you guys to do. Stop always trying to answer a question with content only. I did that when I was starting out. I did that too. I like to tell the story of how I was really stuck on deferred compensation plans. Like, I was like, man, these things are so weird. I don't get deferred compensation plans. So weird. And then one day, I don't know what happened, but one day I just said, I slowed it down and I said, okay, what does the word deferred mean? Deferred means later, right? Some people got their student loans deferred. That's how I know that, right? And then compensation, we know compensation means my salary, my pay, my whatever, right? My paycheck. So I was like, wait a minute. Does this mean that I get my salary later? So then I started looking at the definition based on salary later. And what do you know, guys? Deferred compensation plans are literally that. It's literally taking a part of your salary and getting it paid at retirement instead of getting paid today. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, didn't know that because I was so caught up in like trying to memorize the concept, trying to understand the concepts, that I wasn't focused on the actual words, because deferred in securities vocabulary is the same thing as deferred out in the real world. But we don't take the time to think that way. So that's what we do tonight. And that's why I like Mondays. Okay. Let's go. I don't have my reader, so you guys just have to hear me. So that's okay, right? All right. So my answers first so that we know what we're picking from. And sometimes I like to play the game of, can I get to the answer without even knowing the question? I don't know. So I have coupon rates, fixed rate, nominal yield, current yield. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I didn't even notice that A and B both said rate, but I did know that C and D both say yield, right? So we have two rates, we have two yields, right? Now, somebody in the chat is using securities vocabulary to make a connection, which, I mean, she's not wrong, guys, but she's not wrong. Oh, I didn't even notice that A and D both start with a C. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes that is it. Sometimes that works. It's pretty crazy. So at this point, we've got these two that are similar. We got A and B that are similar. And then we've got this random connection that A and D are similar. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, right? So let's look at the question. And the question says, all of the following are names for the rate stated on the face of the bond. Except, oh wait, you guys are supposed to do this part. Look at me, I'll forget. I'm all caught up in my different. So look at what the words say. Rate stated on the face of the bond. Rate stated on the, except, right? So we're looking at what's not printed on the bond. What's not printed on the bond. Not printed on the bond. Now, if you were looking at coupon, fixed, nominal, or current, what sounds like it wouldn't be printed on the bond? Remember, the bonds get printed at issue, right? So let's read that again. What would not be printed on the bond? The coupon, the fixed, the nominal, or the current? Exactly. So you guys see that? Not printed on the bond is current. How can I print a current yield? It's printed once. These things could be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Just saying. You can't be current if you got printed 10 years ago. Okay? That's what we mean by using the words on the screen. Time machine. All right, I got fiscal policy enacted by the president and Congress. I've got fiscal policy enacted by the Federal Reserve Board. I got monetary policy enacted by the Federal Reserve Board, and I've got monetary policy enacted by the president and Congress. Now, remember, no content, just words, right? So we have two ands, right? And an and an and. It's probably a hint because it's president and Congress. Okay. So let's focus on president, because look, B and C both say Federal Reserve Board or FRB, but if you notice, they're different. Yes, they're saying the same thing, but they're typed differently. So A and D are definitely opposite. Now we have the words fiscal policy or monetary policy. You guys ready for the question? Laws increasing or decreasing taxation would be best associated with. Laws increasing or decreasing taxation. Which word are you getting, or which words are you getting from the question to link it to laws. Ooh, I didn't even think about that one. That's a good one. And taxation, fiscal policy. I was going to say currently in the news, not a political conversation, just current events, right? A tax bill was just approved by who? Who just approved the tax bill? I think it was like last week. Congress. Exactly. Guys, as financial professionals, that should be something that you're aware of, because your client is going to say, hey, how about the new tax bill approved by Congress? And you got to know about that. Not details about it, guys, but you got to know that was in the news, right? So this is what I sent this is the question I sent my sister. And I said, do you know the answer to this? And she's like, it's A, isn't it? Because I just heard in the news the tax bill in Congress. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Yes, that's content, but it's actually just news. It's actually just news. Make sense? Just news. Like I said, nothing political. Nothing political. All right. Common stock, real estate, works of art, classic automobiles. What are some of your observations? A is different in the way that that's what we learn about, right? We don't talk about real estate as like, I'm going to be a real estate. I'm going to be I'm going to be a realtor. There we go. We don't talk about works of art, and we don't talk about classic cars, right? So the only thing on here that we would talk about in our studies is common stock, right? A is normal, B is house, C is Picasso, D is a Mustang. Like the way you think. What year though? That's another good connection. Tangible. 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 Right? I'm down with that. You guys ready for the question? Can we guess what the answer might be without looking at the question? Pretty sure it's probably A, right? Let's look at the question. Examples of investments in assets that would be considered illiquid would be all of the following except. Definitely the except question. What else? What? I think there's like 2 words on here. Illiquid means not liquid. Not liquid. And then an asset. Absolutely. Boom. A was the answer. A was the answer. Great job. The order in which preferred shareholders receive dividend payments when declared. The order in which preferred shareholders receive dividend payments, and the order in which preferred shareholders are paid in the event of public. Okay, I'm going to be real with you guys. I didn't even look at this part. I didn't even see this. The order in which the board of directors declares dividends, or the order of which preferred shares are paid in the event of a bankruptcy liquidation. C does have capitals. B has an and. Absolutely. That I didn't even pay attention to, because that was a lot of information. One of the things that I noticed right off the bat, to be honest, because I didn't even see this, to be honest. I didn't see any of this part. I looked at dividend payments, dividend payments, dividend payments, no dividend payments. Not, and then, yeah, all say the order, right? All say the order. So I kind of like saw that, and then I just skipped to the end, and I just saw dividend payments, dividend payments, dividend payments, no dividend, right? So look at the question. Question says, for those owning preferred classes of stocks, priority of asset dissolution refers to, where is our connection? Where is our connection? We got the technique. We're pretty sure the answer is D, right? Based on technique, right? But you guys got it. You got dissolves and bankruptcy. You guys had it. Asset dissolution connects to D, not just because of the technique, but because bankruptcy. Now, look, some of you, I know we're not getting into content too deep, but I'm going to say this. Some of you are going to say, well, B said that, and preferred shareholders do get dividends first over common stock. And you would be that's a correct statement. That doesn't answer the question. The question was priority of asset dissolution. It didn't even care about the dividends. Does that make sense? Because there was no dividends mentioned in the question, they're specifically talking about dissolution. I'm going to use the answer choice that didn't say dividends. Make sense? No dividends in the question. No dividends in my answer. Do you guys see what we mean by looking at the words on the screen? Looking at words on the screen. All right. Recommending U.S. Treasury bonds to a conservative investor. Refusing to guarantee a customer's account against loss. Furnishing fictitious quotations, or a broker-dealer selling a security to a client at the offer price. Can you tell me why C is bad? What makes C bad? Fictitious. Should anything in securities world, or let me rephrase, there should only be one thing that's fictitious, and that should be a story, right? So the word fictitious shouldn't even be here. Does that make sense? Yeah. You guys ready for the question? Which of the following is an example of a fraudulent practice? Did any of you guys look at any of the other things? Just curious. Did you guys look in detail about A, B, C, or D, or did we just kind of do the whole like focus on C? Because we're not wrong. But it stood out to you. See, do you guys see that? Like A might took a little bit more thought. B might took a little bit more thought. D, because there's more words. C only had 3 words, right? D might took maybe taken a little bit more thought. But C was like, the word fictitious stood out. Go with those. Like I'm a person, I'm not a structured person in the very least. Trust me, guys. I'm looking at my desk. I am not structured. So I'm a person who I usually just let my eyes go wherever my eyes go. And it's usually where it's the shortest or the capitals or a number or, something that's not usual in a statement, right? Parentheses, those types of things. Those things stand out to me because I'm just looking. So I just decided instead of forcing myself to read the question first, or instead of forcing myself to always start with A lot of times I just kind of let my eyes go where my eyes are going to go. Furnishing fictitious quotations, super short. My eyes went there. The word fictitious, bad, boom, done. Okay. Last. Let's make it a good one. All right. I have an officer of the corporation owning less than 1% of the outstanding shares. You guys saw that I hesitated after officer of the corporation? It's because I'm so used to reading like the first 3 or 4 words. This is how I do this, guys. Watch. An officer of the corporation CFO, a director of the board of directors, or an unaffiliated shareholders? Let's try that. How about let's do this? I'm going to do something different tonight in this question. Is there anything about what I highlighted on the screen? Officer of the corporation, corporation CFO, director of the board of director on the board of directors, or unaffiliated shareholder. Is there anything stands out? Unaffiliated. The word unaffiliated stands out, right? Great job, guys. It's great. A and C are the same. Oh, because you were looking at the numbers still. Those three are executives. That's right. Officer is an executive. CFO is an executive. It's a direct, I don't know. Director is a director, right? Or the rest are affiliated or connected. Perfect. So we've got unaffiliated, and then A, B, and C are talking about something who's affiliated or connected. Now check out the question. All of the following are considered control persons owning control stock, except, right? So we've got the except, we've got the control person. Which answer stands out to you? Could be a control person, except so not a control person. That's right. Absolutely right. Look, I know that our brains want us to try to figure out those shares. 1%, 2%, 8%. I know that. Why do you think they did that? They did that because they said they want you to pick the 8%. To confuse you. Exactly. If you guys weren't paying attention to the words, maybe a lot of you would have picked that 8% is a control person. Not a control person. Guys, I have look, I have this question that I pulled. I've actually have two questions that I pulled from this particular question bank that look like they're purposely trying to confuse you, and I think it has a lot to do with you guys. I mean with Kona. Pretty crazy. But anyways, on that note, guys, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Studying Brew, because we did the Kona catchphrase, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow when we do Test Taking Technique Tuesday, where we do almost the same thing, but we really try to pick it based on the answers, right? Still no securities vocabulary needed tomorrow night on the Studying Brew. So I hope you guys all have an amazing evening or day if you guys are watching this on the replay, or day if you guys are watching this on the replay. And remember to wash your hands, don't touch your face, don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. And keep that positive mental attitude. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for being on.